welcome to my channel. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and be welcomed into my safe space. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. So, gonna do a little chatty talk and go over the Llewelyn Tarot by Anna Marie Ferguson. Now, this is the old version. I decided to make a video because of the new version that has been released in some places. Where I'm at, it's not released yet, but I have watched videos of it. So after I watched the videos of it, I made a decision on what I was going to do. I had been really wanting this deck for a long time, and when I saw it was on pre-order several months ago, I decided to wait to get the new version. But then after I watched a comparison, and I'll show you a screen grab that I got. After the comparison, I decided that I definitely liked the older version better. So I purchased the older version. It was on sale. I'm not sure if it's going out of print or not. That has been some tarot gossip. Not sure, have no idea. But so anyway, I got the older version. From what I understand, the newer version, from what I could see, is more blue tone instead of muted. It's more vibrant, and it is, the borders are smaller, and it's like a standard tarot size, but the picture is not as big, or the painting's not as big. It looks a good bit smaller to me. So I would rather have the bigger borders and the bigger picture, and I like the muted tones better. I don't know. I feel like the crisper tones took a lot away. I feel like the crisper tones took away from the beautiful artwork. So anyway, I'm glad to have the old version. This is the one that I decided to get after I waited for so long for the new version. I'm glad that I watched the comparison before I bought it. So the Llewelyn Tarot. I mainly wanted to get this because it is has a lot of Welsh, or it's Welsh themed, and I'm going to use it for ancestral work because I'm one of those nerds who did the my family for Christmas a long time ago did the DNA test, and I have a lot of Welsh DNA. So anyway, let's look at the back. A time before Camelot, bringing the Welsh myths to life. The medieval world of the Welsh is very real, tactical, even rustic, with an other world that overlaps and infringes on reality's borders. Poetic, but rarely sentimental, the mortals anticipate and brace themselves for testing encounters with the shadow of the other world. To live within the reach of the supernatural is seen as natural and sometimes a blessing, and sometimes a hazard. This mystic realism is, I feel, one of early Celtic literature's most appealing qualities. It is not fantasy, but organic reality seen on occasion through an imaginative lens, in the same manner and beauty as the artistic tradition of the tarot. So, yes. And we have one of those huge Llewelyn books, which has got so much information. Now, I will say I did like the newer book in the anniversary version of this, because it had colored pictures in it. It's the only difference. It was the same size, but it did have colored pictures. So anyway, this is the first edition. We have the contents, acknowledgments, the foreword, the preface. We have the Wales, Land of the Red Dragon, the Noble Tarot, the language and nature of the cards, the layout of the cards. And then it gets into the major, and then the minor. And then we have a glossary, the pronunciation key, the bibliography, and the index. And we'll just take a look at what I thought was interesting. Here it talks about the Noble Tarot, the language and nature of the cards, the layout of the cards. It gives you some spreads. And then when you get into the major, now through the major arcana, it doesn't do it through the minors, but the majors all have a story, which I think is great if you like to read and you like stuff like this. So we have the Fool. It gives you a description. And so it talks about, like, for example, that is the name on the top of the card. And I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm not going to try. But, so it talks about that. And it gives information here in italics. And then it gives the entire story of who is portrayed in this Fool card in Welsh mythology. So you get all of this, the entire story. Which I think is incredible, because I eat this up and leave no crumbs. I love it. So, and then we get the upright divination meaning, and then we get the reversed. So it goes like that all the way through the majors. You get the book in itself is fantastic. Amazing. I love it. I'm going to try to finish the other project that I'm working on before I start this, but I cannot wait to get into this. So when we get into, this was all major, so there's a lot of story and a lot of book to read in there. And with the minors, it talks about the wand suit, and then you get a black and white picture or a sepia picture, and you get the meaning and the reversed meaning. And of course it's not near as much because it's not, the minors aren't stories. So we do get all that. And what I like also, we have a glossary. For example, this ARAWN, Lord of N1 or Otherworld. This name here, a battlefield where Mirrodin Merlin went mad, and I love Merlin, the magician. So we get a glossary of words, so we know what's going on. We have the Badger in the Bag, a game of beating a man in a bag, as in the fate of Rihanna's suitor Gwal. A bard is an educated poet and musician. So I have read about that. Bronn the Blessed, the much-loved king and giant brother of Bronwyn. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And then when we get through that, you get a pronunciation key, which I find pretty interesting. I still won't be able to pronounce them right, but that's my toxic trait. I think I can pronounce something and I can't. Yeah, I pretty much slaughter the name. So, and then we get the bibliography, and then the index, and we get all that. So exciting. So let's take a look. And again, this is the first version. This is the backs, and I did modify them. I just edged them. I did not. I see where a lot of people have modified them by taking the border off, which I will not attempt to do again. So here we have the Fool, and I do like this tone better than what I saw in the new version. And here we have the Magician. I can't wait to read about the stories. Here we have the High Priestess. I love the cobwebs, the spider web in the back. This is like very old knowledge too. I think these will be great for ancestor cards. The Empress. Emperor, definitely giving Emperor vibes. The Hierophant, just stunning. I love the harp on the side. The Lovers. And then I can't wait to read this story. the dream of whatever that is. We have the Chariot. The Strength card. I adore this card. This is magnificent. With the boar, and he has scissors on his head. The Hermit. So mystical here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And she is exquisite. Look at the wheel. Wow. And Justice. Love it. The Hanged Man. Death. Check that out. I am totally captivated by this Death card. Totally. Temperance, Keeper of the Whale. Look at that. I am utterly charmed by this amazing painting. The Horned One. Wow. That is something else. Here we have the Tower. And I kind of like that it's like lightning and water and no fire. It's different. Here we have the Star, which is captivating. And we see the stones in the back. This is so gorgeous. And the Moon. Stunning. This is the Lake of Maidens. I love this Moon card. And the Sun. Judgment. I really like this Judgment card. And we have the Universe instead of the World. Fab. It's fab. You can see this ethereal spirit here. Okay, then we're going to get into the suits. I'll talk about the cardstock. I forgot to do that or show you the bags, but let's get through this first. We have the Ace of Wands, very Rider Waite. The 2. You'll notice it doesn't have a title at the top. That was just for the majors, but a lot of storytelling in the majors. A lot of mythology. The 3 of Wands, the ships. I love his scarf is blowing in the wind. The 4 of Wands. Beautiful. The 5 of Wands. Totally on point there. The 6 of Wands. Hour 7. These are all very Rider Waite. I like that he's almost standing in like a waterfall. He's got his knee bent on a rock. It could be snow. No, I think it's water. 8 of Wands. I love the deers in the picture. Hour 9. The 10. The Page. I love that we have a little bunny in the Page of Wands. Our Knight. I like the way the horse has his head. Our Queen, she has the sunflower there. Just beautiful. Our King, looking very kingish with the little salamander or lizard down there at the bottom. ace. I like that we have greenery on one side and looks like fall leaves with berries on the other. Our 2. I just love the colors of these. The 3. Definitely giving 3 vibes, 3 of Swords vibes here. The 4. The 5. I love the colors in the Swords suit. Number 6. I love the angel on the front of the boat. Or some sort of a bird. I think it's an angel. The 7. He is struggling there. He is struggling. Our 8. The waves are getting wild. The 9. I love that she has a, it looks like a knight in the bed frame on his horse. I love little details like that. The 10, fantastic. Wow. That's almost giving Titanic after she kind of pushed him off after he passed. The Page of Swords. Our knight. I love this knight. No holding back there. Our queen. The king. I love the faces in these cards as well. The Ace of Cups. Love the lily pads, the lotus. Here we have the 2. And we have the lion there with the wings, which makes me think of strength kind of in this card as well. The 3. The 4. The 5. 6. The 7. Our 8. I always like to look at the 8 of Cups. Stunning. The 9. And we have the little queen bee here. I love the backgrounds. The 10. Or page. Our lovely dreamer here, the knight. Our queen. The king. And move these over. We're going to move into the pentacles, which I love the colors here too. We have the ace and the 2. Notice he has a foxtail. And he's holding one foot up like a tree pose almost. The 3. And the 4. I like to look at the 5 of Pentacles too. I love this one. the 6, the 7. The last little pentacle has not finished. Patience. The 8. Or a lovely 9. I like to look at the 9s too. The pentacles. Aspiring. The 10. The page. The Knight. I also like to look at the 9 of Pentacles. I like for him to always be moving really slow. Our Queen. She's gorgeous. And the King. Now I'm going to do a shuffle and come back. Okay, so they riffle shuffle fantastic. This is the back of the card. They do have kind of a gloss, but I don't know. I've heard people talk about them being thin. I have seen Llewelyn cards a lot thinner than this card stock, so I don't think they're thin. And it may be because it's an older print. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to pull one card and then I'm going to do a spread. So, what does, let's see, what does our one card pull? What do you need to know today from your ancestors? So we're going to use that since I'm going to use it primarily for an ancestor deck, unless I'm reading for others. So let's see what we have. Here we have the Page of Swords. So what does your ancestors want you to know? We'll zoom in and open right up to it. So here we get a picture and secrets, hidden matters, need for caution, plots, sensing undercurrent of dangers afoot, being privy to confidential matters, being given inside information, people spying, a slippery adversary, infected environment, a philosophy that sanctions unfair practices so long as serving one's purpose. Inquiring minds find lies, a reason to suspect. Wow, that's kind of to the point, and that's the upright. So I would say that your ancestors want you to know that there may be some hidden matters that you need to check into, and you may need to be cautious about a certain situation. Maybe you are being privy to some confidential matters that could give you a heads up, or having information that no one else has, or maybe someone's keeping it from you. So that is what I have. Take what resonates as always, leave what does not.